What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to go over my new updated rig for my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. If you'll remember, back in May I made a video going over my handheld rig, and that video is already out of date. I've made so many updates to my rig and I thought I'd show it off today. And I also want to go over my quick release setup that I have that is optimized for going from handheld to my gimbal. So without further ado, let's get this started. Already an upgrade from my previous video. I'm using a 15mm rod setup now. So this is a newer rod system. It's pretty cheap. I got it with a really cheap shoulder rig that I bought on Amazon. So it takes a typical Manfrotto plate and it just screws in, and I put another Manfrotto plate at the bottom so I can easily put it on my tripod, like so. So now we're going to put my camera on. So here's my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, 4K. It has the small rig cage, a Manfrotto plate that's from the Ronin S gimbal, and it's got a cable clamp right here, which you'll see what it's for, and my Samsung SSD holder. You can see right here, it's not exactly flush with the camera mount. I've offset this plate a little bit, and that helps with balancing on the gimbal. And you can see it's not exactly ideal. Once I put it on my rods, it's a little shifted over, but that's fine. You'll see in a minute it works out perfect. Okay, now I'm gonna add my lens. I'm gonna be adding my Ronin 16mm lens. Boom, like so. Bam. This is a small rig NATO top handle, and this just slides right on my rig like so. Tighten it down. Next up, I'm gonna add my FeelWorld F5 Pro monitor. This is a touchscreen 5-inch monitor, and it works great. I really like it. It's pretty budget friendly. It's like 130 bucks, and it's got a lot of functionality, including you can mount an HDMI wireless receiver on the back. And then I also have at the bottom here a Andy Cine monitor mount, which allows me to pivot this monitor once I put it on. So I like to just slide this directly onto my side, to my top handle, tighten it down, and now you can see I can fully move this monitor like so. Next up, I'm gonna add a newer addition. This is the Tilta Mini Follow Focus. Tilta was having a flash sale on their website, and I scored this guy for around 60 bucks. And these things help with focus so much. Instead of having to go and reach around and pull focus like this, I can slap this bad boy right here on the side. Bam, like so. And now I can pull my focus. So now for my battery solution, I still use the Tilta MPF plate, and I like to put my Tilta MPF 970s in there. I choose this over V-mount because it's just a lot lighter weight, and you can get tons of MPF batteries for super cheap. And then I use this small rig 15mm rail block with a Nicey Rig cheese plate attached. So let's throw this bad boy on like that. Just goes on the back like so. And I still have a lot of room to reach back here and mess with my menu. So there we go. That's pretty much the bare bones of the rig. Let me go ahead, I'm gonna put my batteries in. All right, now I'm gonna attach my Samsung T5. This is the 1TB version. I recently bought this one just so I could double my record times. I like to just run this cable through my top handle. This is what I like to use the cable clamp for. I can put this in my SSD cable and then tighten this bad boy up like so, and now my cable is not accidentally unplugging while I'm recording, which could badly damage my footage. Now I'm gonna add my 2-pin LEMO to DC 12-volt cable. So this just plugs right into the side of the camera like so, and then runs back around to the 12-volt on my Tilta battery plate. And last but not least, we just need to plug in our HDMI cable to the monitor. So of course, this just plugs right into the HDMI port and then plugs right into the monitor. Okay, bam, and there it is. That is my Blackmagic Pocket 4K handheld rig. Go ahead and just turn the camera on, take the lens cap off, and then boom, there we are. Now we can record, pull focus, take it off the tripod here, And this thing is super sweet. I use this thing for weddings and just whatnot. Super versatile, handheld, and it's actually, it's quite heavy, which of course gives a lot more stabilization if you were just to use the bare camera itself. Now I'm gonna show you how I go from this to my Ronin S in very few steps. Okay, so here is my, of course, gimbal of choice for the Blackmagic, the Ronin S, and of course DJI is just incredible. This is not my first DJI gimbal. Back when I had my Lumix G7, I bought the SE, which I still have. It's actually in repairs right now. The joystick on it broke, but it was fully my fault, not a fault with DJI, and I sent it back to repair and they repaired it for free, which is just incredible. For my gimbal, you can see I have this small rig mount, which kind of just sits right here below the actual axes. So this has a bunch of 1/4-20s, some 3/8s, and 2 NATO rails on each side. So if you want to add like some NATO handles or a monitor mount or whatever, super versatile, and I love this. So first off, I'm gonna take my camera right here and I'm gonna strip it down to just everything I need for this setup. We're gonna need the monitor, but I'm just gonna take it off of this Andy Cine monitor mount and just use the monitor. And then we're gonna loosen up my follow focus and then take this off of the rods. And now we're not gonna need this anymore. And then we're gonna take off my top handle. So now we're gonna add my Ronin S follow focus system. I choose to screw this in on the top just because I think it's a lot more easy than having to screw it in from the base plate. So this is what is going to go on the gimbal. So let's take this Velcro tie off. And we're just gonna slide our Ronin S onto this. Just making micro adjustments to get the best balance. And there we go, that's pretty good. It's pretty stable right there. Okay, sweet. I'm going to run my power cable for my follow focus down here and plug it into the 12 volt. It just plugs in right there. Now we've got the Ronin S all balanced. So this is a magic arm that just uses ball joints right here. And I bought this on Amazon. I don't remember the exact company, but it was like only 17 bucks, which is pretty cheap for a magic arm. And it's not the biggest one out there, but this thing, it works super well. It's super strong. So this arm just screws right into the 1/4-20 on this plate. And then we'll just loosen that up. Swing it around to about like right there. That looks pretty good. And then we're gonna just run our HDMI up to the camera. And there is the Blackmagic 4K on the Ronin S. And just, so that was just in a few easy steps, I'm able to go from my handheld rig to the Ronin S. And this thing is incredible, handles the weight perfectly. Now in the future, as far as power goes, of course it's not ideal to use the Canon batteries to power this, and I don't want to add extra bulk by maybe like putting my MPF plate on this guy. So what I'll probably do is get one of those 2-pin LEMO to 12 volt connectors and power it via the gimbal itself, which of course is not entirely great because you are also sucking the battery from your gimbal. So your battery is also charging your gimbal while powering your Blackmagic, which is not ideal, but saves on some space. So yeah guys, that's been the video of setting up my Blackmagic on both the Ronin S and on my little handheld rig. So yeah, if you liked this video guys, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, tell me why in the comment section, and I will catch you guys next time.